Good Monday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and motorcycles and addictions and dogs and birds and nests and wow. Just what a weekend. Hey, good Monday morning there to all those people that do tune into my channel and watch me gab away on a daily basis every day of my life. Yeah, wow, right? Wow. Thanks so much for participating in the Ice Age TV YouTube channel adventures. And there's always an adventure, and so here we are. I've got my goodbye vehicle. It's going bye-bye right here, the Ford Bronco Raptor. Am I crazy? Yeah, I am. I'm crazy. I know that. Yeah, when did the guys in the white jackets show up? I hear you loud and clear. Yeah, my gosh, trade that for that? Really? I mean, really? How many trucks do you have? I hear you, but there's the word of the day. The word of the day is going to be called goodbye. And Kiefer forgot his ball. He was just over there next to him. He got distracted, and here we are in the poop factory. Yeah, my property is the poop factory. Look at the cars. They're just getting destroyed with all the active birds that want to live in my barn and destroy all my cars. Isn't that something? It's just so maddening. It really is. And it's so much work of me smoking this place out to no avail. But oh well. I guess I like to breathe smoke, right? So anyways, thought the morning conversation could be the goodbye conversation. And boy, who hasn't had the stories of losing somebody in your life or losing something special where you have to say goodbye? You know, so that word is a very strong word. But the reason it popped in my head for the conversation this morning was because I thought to myself, I think I've sold or traded, or I should say said goodbye to 500 plus vehicles in my lifetime. I really do think that in my lifetime, I've said goodbye to many vehicles. And, you know, a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people can't let go of their pride and joy vehicle. Like yesterday, if you watched my car show, you'd see there was an older gentleman there that had a beautiful 1967 Corvette, black, convertible. And I was asking him about the car, and he stood there and he talked very diligently and nice of him to share his story. And I was asking what he thought the vehicle was worth and all this other stuff. And so, as I was talking to him, I said, "What do you think the value of that car is?" And then he speculated $150,000 to $200,000. And I said, "Okay." And then I said, "Well, would you take it?" And he was like, "No." So he's like, "No, that car is too sentimental to him." And I even got into deeper conversation with him. And I said, "Well, what is it about this car?" And he said, "Well, it reminds me of the 60s and 70s, which I was a very good time in my life." So that car brings reflection to him of being young again. And so, once again, I thought to myself this morning, it's incredible how many goodbyes I've, I'm not talking about buying something. I'm saying it goes away. It, departs in your life. And it's a strong word because if you've been married and divorced, if you've had a family member die, that goodbye is usually a closure of whatever, what's the situation, circumstances in your life. And in so many ways, I think sometimes people wish I could just say goodbye to a lot of things, just like me. Sometimes I think, wow, if I could just, go around with the money and just get rid of all this debt and just say goodbye to this stuff. I mean, what's really intriguing my channel, I've gone out of my way to share my antics of me just being a crazy guy that buys cars and trucks all the time. And it's really intriguing to me that it really hasn't drawn what I thought would possibly, but let me just share something with you. My good friend Joe bugged me for 10 years to really start a YouTube channel, and I just resisted it because I really felt like everybody and her brother shows a video of a car, a truck, and look at me, and I was like, So I really resisted it because my inclination was, how can you make any money out of what everybody else is doing? And that's why it's really befuddling for me on seeing on the YouTube community world that it's just, I've talked about it many times on my channel, is it's just, and that's why I'm bringing this word up this morning, is because our society is living in the biggest goodbye ever. If you really just step back and you think in the last 4 years of what we've gone through, I mean, if you go back to 2020, you're talking the pandemic came in, and people lost family members. I have friends that are no longer here, and so it was a goodbye, and it was such a strong word back then. People would go to the hospital and you would never see him again. So it was a final goodbye, because you couldn't go visit that person. I'm sure many people know these stories, what happened. And so that was the true beginning of the goodbye. And so then we transitioned into a whole new administration, and boy, oh boy, everything was a goodbye. Goodbye, not buying something. Remember, goodbye. So all the cars, because of the pandemic, went away. You couldn't find one. But then as time progressed, because of the car challenges, the goodbye to buying a car at a reasonable price, that also went away. So it was like a double whammy. Not only did the car that you wanted not be available anymore because of production, but for you to be able to goodbye to negotiating a deal with the car dealership. Wow, right? I mean, that was huge. And every industry was like, oh boy, the RVs, boats, I've talked about it so many times. It wasn't it was goodbye to the good old days. It was a goodbye. You couldn't go negotiate and then be so lucky to get this or get that. I mean, wow. And so then interest rates. Under this city administration, to tame the inflation, they said goodbye to low interest rates. So they've raised all the interest rates, thinking that by doing that, they would make things less expensive. But no, to no avail. Then we get in a war. We're in a war with Ukraine and Russia. And this city administration puts sanctions on Russia oil. So it drives the oil markets through the roof. And then you say goodbye to cheap energy. I mean, even on the channel, come on. I mean, are you on the same page as I am? I would only think so if you watch my channel. Because it's just, if you step back, everything in the last 4 years has been goodbye. Reasonable rent and housing, goodbye. Food prices, goodbye. You can just start going through the list. And it's just befuddling beyond befuddling that there's so many people that will fight for this guy in this administration office that has totally said goodbye to the sense of this country. I mean, anybody here, I mean, I can't be the only one. Do you really feel like the USA is going goodbye? I really do. I really strongly feel that the USA we know, it's going goodbye. It's transitioning away from being the USA. It really is. People be, you're foolish. You really are foolish. And you know what? Now, some people on my channel today may be like, I'm just leaving this guy's channel because I just don't want to hear this stuff. Right. That's the goal. That's the goal. The sitting powers to be wants you just to walk away and say, goodbye, whatever. That's not going to be my problem. And that's so here's the point. The biggest YouTubers out there that are getting the huge hits, all they talk about is goodbye every day. It's an underlining message, subliminal message that people are addicted to, because I show you these other people's channels, and it's a constant. Car dealerships are closing, so goodbye. People are losing their jobs. Goodbye. Let's see here. The housing market has crashed, and realtors no longer can get the commissions they used to get because they just had a major lawsuit filed against the Realtors Association. So if you're a realtor, your income, goodbye. I mean, come on. Is anybody getting this stuff? What the hell is going on? Now, here's the latest. Joe Biden goes to Sheetz in Pennsylvania, and the community didn't rally around him to go buy expensive coffee and gas. They all snubbed their face to him. So now, I'm not making this up, Sheetz is being sued because they require criminal background checks on people they hire. So the administration saying that it's a discrimination lawsuit against Sheetz gas stations because they want higher criminals. Can you make this stuff up? Yeah, right. I mean, but we all know that the goal of this city administration, district attorneys, is to tell the cellmates goodbye to the prison. Goodbye, you're out. I mean, they go to court. You're not going to jail. Goodbye. Get out of the court. Get out of the courtroom. I want to see your ass. You can just start going through the list. All right. So we take it back to the cars. Well, what you just witnessed here in 2024 was the last run of the Camaro car. So goodbye. When is it coming back? I don't know. We just witnessed the last run in 2023 of the long-running body style of the Dodge Challenger and Charger that are the ICE. They've been the ICE king of so many people wanting these things. But goodbye. It's been replaced with an Alfa Romeo looking car. It's an Alfa Romeo platform car, basically, that's going to be electrified. And at some point, they'll turn the switch and give you an inline 6 twin turbo. So for that Mopar, I think they're going to see the customer says goodbye. I mean, so if you're a Dodge sales guy, the only glimmer of hope you have is you've got the Jeep and Ram brand to keep you employed. I just showed you a video last week of Harley Davidson of Frederick. Apparently, their Harley Davidson dealership franchise has expired, and the new owners doesn't sound like they're going to renew it. So for Frederick Harley Davidson, goodbye. I mean, are you getting sick of it yet? Are you getting sick of it yet? All right. For Elon Musk, his customer base is saying goodbye because he's not the green agenda, liberal mind person that so many liberal people thought he was. And by buying X out, he's truly disclosed his true feelings and views of life. And it's pissed off, what they're saying, it's pissed off probably 30% of his base that have left. So not only is Elon Musk losing sales from the Chinese electric vehicle manufacturers, but here stateside, he's losing his customer base because his customer base doesn't like him anymore. So they're saying goodbye. I mean, look at Elon Musk stock. If you invested into it, goodbye. You might want to sell that right now. I mean, so wow. I mean, how many more things can I think up of? And I'd love to hear other people's comments. I love when people make comments on my channel like, oh yeah, I didn't think of that angle. So wow. So let's see here. What else could we take in a car and motorcycles? And well, we know the biggest thing is for us, it's the ongoing transition of the ICE to the EV. But one big thing that I am seeing, so there's no doubt, when you go to Koons Baltimore Ford, and if you watch them walk around the lot, the high-end customers that have the money, goodbye, they're gone. They really are. Because if you look at Koons Baltimore Ford, they really don't want the Raptor. They don't want it. They've got a ton of these things. They can't sell new. Well, why? How expensive is all? It's expensive. You can have just as much fun in so many ways, and for close to 40 grand less, and a wild track, which I've talked about a gazillion times, or a real base Bronco. So get this. So the GM Dennis over there at Koons Baltimore Ford, the new organization, Asbury Automotive Group, they have bought out all the Koons stores. And so the CEO's niece, who lives in Connecticut, has bought a white Bronco Badlands. And Dennis asked some of his employees to do a walk-around video of this vehicle for this young lady that is getting this from Koons Baltimore Ford. So it's pretty intriguing because the Asbury Automotive Group is like out of Georgia or somewhere like that. And to pick Dennis at Koons Baltimore Ford to be the exclusive Ford dealer, because there's many other Koons Ford dealers in the area, to handle the transaction, that's a compliment from the CEO to Dennis. And so then he wants to provide a great service experience and sale experience for his the CEO of Asbury Automotive Group's niece. So he asked his sales guys to go out and do a walk-around presentation of the video, a video of the vehicle to be sent to the CEO and the niece. And so Dennis is like, this is not acceptable. And he's like, would you do me a favor? I'm like, what? He's like, would you make a video of a walk around of this car. I'm like, yeah, sure, of course, I'll do that. So I was like, am I going to give the demo, or am I going to video you? He's like, no, I'll video you, or you just hold your phone and video whatever you want to do. So we made a 9-minute video of us. I wish I would have recorded this. I wish I had somebody behind the scenes, because I used his phone. I didn't use my phone, because I don't have to take time to download the video to on my phone to his phone. So he's like, no, we'll just use your phone. So I used his phone like I'm doing right now, walking around. So I did a whole introduction of Dennis, and then the Coons Baltimore Ford. Then I did a whole introduction of who I am, and then the whole car, and what this, what was really neat about it, and the attributes and the things about it. So 9-minute video. So Dennis loved that video. He literally sent it to the CEO and to Denise, and they reached back out and they really complimented Dennis for the video that he had sent. And Dennis personally called me late Saturday evening just to say, hey man, this was so nice of you to do this today, and the CEO really enjoyed your presentation and blah blah. Like, wow, that is so cool. So back to the goodbye. So you read the newspaper, you don't read the newspaper anymore. Yeah, right. You read the information, you read the internet, you read, whatever, you watch TV, and it's the constant rhetoric of goodbye. So you're going to lose your job because of artificial intelligence. Goodbye. All you IT guys are going to be challenged because of the new artificial intelligence. So for you, your underlying message is, goodbye. Elon Musk has got the Optimus. What's it? Boston. What's the Boston company called that makes robots, the dog robots? They now have a brand new robot called Atlas. Remember Atlas, the strong guy of the world, holding up the globe? Have you ever seen that statue? Well, they've made a robot to compete against Elon Musk, and that robot is going to tell you as a person that's on the factory floor, goodbye. I mean, that's Elon Musk's goal, is to so-called build this incredible manufacturing plant, which got to be befuddled now. What's going on with Elon Musk? He's confused a lot of people because he was going to build a Tesla 2, but now he's kicking at this curb to build these robo-taxis or whatever he's got going on. So he's lost a lot of the I guess, faith and belief of what he's doing and how the money's faltering. And so people are saying goodbye, like two of his key guys that have been with him for many, many years. They cashed out their stocks and they said goodbye. Once again, I'm just here thinking off the tip of my tongue of all the things that are going on. I can't believe this trailer hasn't gone goodbye. I've lowered the price down to $16.5. Nobody's even responding. I mean, is it really happening? I don't know. It's just you go to the Beckley's RV and there's people lined up to buy RVs. But you'll see another YouTuber post, the RV industry's done. So goodbye. Another dealership's going to be closing any day. So people, you hear this as well. People no longer going to pay their bills. Goodbye. People no longer want to pay for their cars. So repossessions are through the roof. Goodbye. I mean, it's election year. And I can tell you right now, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to fight for Trump. I'm not going to fight for Biden. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just telling you the way it is. And you have to say to yourself, who do you want to lead this country? Because right now, the leadership of this country is focused on everything being goodbye. You hear about squatters can take your house. So your house, goodbye. You hear the constant chatter about the police force being defunded. Police force can't, convict criminals. So for the police officer, goodbye. How many police officers have left states that don't really appease to them and have gone to other states that do? It's huge. There's been a whole transfer of law enforcement that no longer wants to work in certain areas because the judge just tells them goodbye. Who cares? You just caught this guy. And then look at the illegals. More than ever, we're witnessing people saying goodbye to their country. Goodbye. I mean, come on. They're even being told you get a free airplane ride. But apparently, from other people out there, this has been going on for years and years, unbeknownst to taxpayers. They've been freaking, hey, Keever, now, don't be eating my tree, dude. It's just always something, man. Get your ball. You got a ball over there. Get a ball. Come on, man. Get a ball. Where's your ball? It's right in front of your eyes. Yeah. Goodbye. You're right. Yeah, my interior, my truck and my Bronco. Yeah, the back seat. Goodbye. Yeah, if you've seen those. Yeah, I'm trying to get the birds to go goodbye. Yeah, right. All right. So, anyways, I just thought today's morning conversation could be the goodbye conversation, because I think in so many ways, what I'm saying, I wish people would reach out and say, look, man, you're right. Everything's goodbye. I mean, sadly, and this is a concern of mine, because I have a young daughter that could be drafted. I'm very, very concerned that this administration, the world powers to be, we are just such on the fine line of maybe being a major war. And this Ukraine support, where you can say goodbye to your tax dollars, I mean, that's a major, I think more than ever, and I'm not saying it hasn't been around, but I think it just seems like people are puzzled on all this tax money that goes overseas. And, and you hear the arguments on both sides, but it's like, there's your tax, dollars, goodbye. Will that be used for the right reason? Most people think, it's money laundering. It's just devious stuff going on that the American citizens just won't be able to figure out, because you can't get into the government, because they'll shoot and kill you if you try to. They will. So you'll be thrown in jail. That's where we live. Yeah, it sounds radical. Okay, prove me wrong. Start doing your due diligence and see how far you go to figure out where all this stuff goes. Yeah, right. So, anyways, my concern is that the other countries that are needing our aid and help are going to come to dire straits and need our aid and help. And the draft is down. I mean, the younger people are kind of starting to think, is it really worth it? Because, anybody here that's a veteran, law enforcement, wherever it may be, every day you got out of bed of your life that maybe it was a final goodbye to your loved one. And sadly, there's people out there that had that happen to them. And so I think to myself, wow, the powers to be are really on a fine line of when do they say draft time, draft time. And if you're a younger person, wow, really? I mean, wow. I mean, I'm sure some people will take that as a call to duty and call to action. But at the same time, we just have seen so many wars we've been in and loss of lives that we've said goodbye to people. And for only in the end, what came from the just the bloody wars that we've been in, at the end of the day, what's even really come from it? Besides a lot of money being made, and that's what wars are. Wars are money makers. Wars make money. That's huge. That's why defense contractors around here have all the money. That's why this Loudoun County area is so rich. It's all these people living off the government's borderline incompetence. It really is. If I only knew what I know today, I wouldn't have this YouTube channel. You know why? I'd have made my millions and millions a whole different way, and I wouldn't even have time for this, because this is so time consuming. And so, yeah, I never even would have gone down this path, because I would have had a different lifestyle, whole different ballgame. I'd have multiple mansion houses all over the country. I'd have my mega yachts. This is the real stories. And it cracks me up when people watch my channel that really don't know who I am. And they think I'm some rich ass bastard showing off all my stuff and I'm so special. Yeah, right. Meanwhile, people are oblivious to the guy driving down the road in that just regular old looking car, regular looking guy. The guy's a defense contractor around here, and he's got 3-4 houses throughout the country, ski lodges, Hawaii house, mega yacht parked down in Florida, another one parked up in Maine. I mean, it's true. It's so true, because the millionaires and the billionaires are at the highest level ever in society. And if you're really smart and you're a savvy investor, and you knew how to take your money 20 years ago, the odds are you're worth millions today from your stock options, like Warren Buffett did. And who's the lady, Wendy something, I can't think of her name off the tip of my tongue, but there's incredibly very dynamic people that understood how to take money, invest it. Now, for me, that's the true story. If I ever took all this money I'm spending on all these vehicles and I invested it into stocks and property, well, you wouldn't know me, because I wouldn't want you to know me, because I would already made my millions and I'd just be on the beach or on my yacht or whatever it may be. And versus I'm trying to create an income through a YouTube channel. I mean, I really am. I mean, I'm just telling you straight up. If you think I'm going to continue to do this just because I want to do it every day of my life, and then the monies don't eventually start to show, then yeah, you're probably going to eventually have a goodbye video from Mr. Iceman. In fact, this video may get a lot of content, a lot of viewership today, because goodbye conversations will intrigue somebody. Say, oh, the guy's going to give it up. He talks about this, here and there, about how all the work he puts in his channel and the return is minuscule, of pennies on the dollar. And so I'm sure that will probably make this a bigger, instead of me getting 200 views, 250 views, do I get 500? Do I get 1,000? Because it's the click on, it's a clickbait. Goodbye. And once they kind of get into the video, they'll just turn it off and go to something else. But that's how you make the money on these on this YouTube stuff, is you feed in so many ways misinformation. You really do. And that's the guys that make the money. It's unbelievable. And that's how and I don't feel good about that. And so if I have to just start misinforming people and doing devious things to try to make money, I'm out. I mean, if that's really the YouTube world, then you know what? It's time to move on. And, I get all that. But, what's intriguing, though, is the TikTok is going to go goodbye in this country. And this is really radical stuff, because there's huge TikTok creators that make a lot of money off of TikTok. And they're up in arms because this government is going to force the hand that China sells that technology to a non-China owned company. Chinese is telling this administration, go pound sand. They ain't going to do it. So in this new Ukraine-Israel aid bill, in that bill, which they just all agreed to, and they not all agreed to it, but they got it passed. In that bill, it's the TikTok ban. It's either it's banned or it's sold. So goodbye. But the reason I'm bringing this up, part of me says, okay, so if that TikTok base is shut down, where do those followers and users go? Would that then create an opportunity for me on my channel that I would pick up more people because they lost content? Look at this here. What does he have? Hey, Keever, what do you got? Dude, oh, so he's got now a cleaning brush. No, Keever, get your ball. Come here. Jesus Christ. Come here. It just doesn't end. Doesn't end, man. This dog here, he ain't gnawing on something. Oh, so here's a kid. Okay, there it is. She left all that stuff up there. So, and now the ball, I've already gone through all the balls that I just bought them. So I think to myself, wow, would that open the door for me to pick up more users? Because the bottom line in this business is, it's a business, is you have to have lots and lots and lots of subscribers that click on your video to get the ad content. Or I get popular enough where somebody wants to sponsor me by promoting one of their products or goods, which that's possible as well. Hey, Keith, here's a ball, buddy. And so anyway, so the ban on TikTok actually could be a potential for me to maybe the channel grows more. I don't know, whatever. So, man, I got a really busy day. So I got to get this freaking Bronco to Coons Baltimore Ford because that's sold. It's traded. And then I mull over, do I trade the Tremor truck for the Ford Explorer ST? I've already had one of them, and yeah, they're okay. They're nice cars, and I don't know. Who knows? I'll have to kind of evaluate them. But I got to go do a job up in Aberdeen, Maryland. This is going to be a long-ass day. It's going to be a long-ass day. And so I really got to kind of just shut up and go to work because this takes time out of my morning to entertain you. So as always, I enjoy making videos. I enjoy the creating content. I don't enjoy how 4 years in, my channel just is like blah. So and not here to complain. Here's a step on this, and I'll twist my foot or something. That's what happens. So anyways, as always, I do appreciate everybody who does support my channel and reaches out, and that's so cool. And so I'm going to end it at that. And I know probably a 30-minute conversation is better than a 40, 45, and that's good, but I got to go. And I'm going, crap. It's just so, it's the worst. What do you expect? I mean, you know how you eliminate this problem? You move, right? Or I just get rid of all these freaking cars and trucks and trailers. So the trailer deal, I'm getting nervous about the trailer deal because I don't have any room for this trailer. So I'm borderline going to call the RV dealer and say, I may have to give you a trade for that damn trailer. Because if I don't have room to park that thing. And they'll be, well, we'll just keep it on our property. Like, really? Well, why would I want to do that? Then you just keep it and I'm not going to buy it. I mean, part of me, you know, all sincereness, I mean, I think it's cool. Serious? Look, you got it back. Look, you got it back. So in all seriousness, I mean, borderline, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Just call it another day and forget it. All right, that's it. Oh, stay tuned for maybe another car purchase. I don't know. You know, whatever. Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a great day. God bless. Stay safe.